Good morning, everyone, or good day, depending on when you watch this. Daneaya Z here, June 10th, 2021. As always, thank you with all of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of you beautiful beings who watch, listen, comment, share, hold space. I am so grateful for you, and I appreciate you so very, very much. Thank you. Okay. Um, Today I'm going to chat a little bit more about smoking, about weed, and I kind of feel like it's getting a little bit old. Maybe I've talked about it enough, but there's certain parts of it that I'd like to talk about a little bit more, and then I'll launch into why I do what I do, how the smoking journey was just one part of my story that led me to where I am now, and I'm really truly blessed to say that I am doing that thing you get to do that doesn't feel like work. And I feel like a lot of people look for that their whole life. And I'm so blessed that I have that here doing this. So I didn't have the knowledge that I do now, obviously, when I was walking that part of my story, quitting and starting and quitting and quitting, starting and all that stuff. And it certainly would have made it easier because what hypnosis and NLP and energy work have the ability to do is drain the emotion that's being attached to a person, place, or thing. And when we have those emotions attached, it can create an automatic habit. It can create a belief system that we subscribe to. It can do all kinds of odd things, just to give an example. I'll share a bit of my story. I was in I think it was the master NLP training, and we were working on stuff, and I've always had this block with money. I've always had with wanting things. I used to think that wanting things was bad. Quite often the story that would play in my head was, "Oh, you don't need that, Daneaya. It's not that bad." And that would literally be those words that would go through my head. And so we were doing this exercise in a practice. Like I said, I was in the master NLP training, and that's what I wanted to unwind. And what I was shown in my mind, what came up for me was I was somewhere between 3 and 5, right? I can't quite remember if I was 3, 4, or 5, but I was in that age group somewhere in there. And I grew up in Calgary, Alberta. And so my mom and we were riding bikes, and we stopped at this house, and I can still see it in my mind's eye. It was on the corner, and it had a white picket fence. And just on the other side of the fence was all these tulips. And I mean, I swear I thought the whole yard was filled with tulips, but I was little, so there we go. Anyways, I reached over the fence and I picked a tulip. And as I picked that tulip, there was a bumblebee in there, and the bumblebee stung my hand. And, I was somewhere between, we'll just say 4. We'll meet in the middle, we'll say 4. And I was like, my world ended. Oh my gosh, my world ended. My hand was like, I was in so much pain. And so my mom soothed me, and she did, she did all the right things. And then we were kind of carrying on, and my hand was still sore. So I can see me still, kind of whimpering a little bit in my hand. And then an ice cream truck went by, and I wanted a popsicle, right? It was like, oh, can I have a popsicle? And my mom said to me, "You don't need one, Daneaya. It's not that bad." Now, so innocent, right? So innocent. And what my mind did was, in order to maintain the attachment, the connection, in order to make sure my needs were met by my mom, I attached to the belief that I don't need things. They're not that, what I have isn't that bad. And when that came through in that session, it was like, mind was blown yet again by so many things. The power of our mind, how it works, and how we have this ability to change it. And I mean, that exercise took less than 15 minutes. Now, there's an asterisk in there. I mean, I've been doing this work for a long time, but it was less than 15 minutes. And I can't tell you how many times in my entire life I have thought the thought, I don't need it. It's not that bad. What I have isn't that bad. And so having that ability to liberate a person from their things is amazing. It's amazing. And anybody can do it. 95% of people are hypnotizable. And, those that aren't, there's a small percentage that aren't. And people with mental illnesses such as schizophrenia and things like that, they should avoid hypnosis. Might be different if you're under, the care of a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a doctor, that kind of thing. If I had somebody come to me and say, I suffer from schizophrenia, can you hypnotize me? I would say no. I would refer them out. I would probably refer them to my instructor, or I would consult with my instructor and see what he would say, but that's a whole nother story. Anyways, having the power, or understanding the power that our mind has and its basic workings, makes life so much easier, because you can drain that emotion away. You understand how it works, and it just makes perfect sense, right? It was like, oh, I get that. And it might seem like such a ridiculous thing to attach to, it's not that bad. But knowing that your subconscious mind, your mind, its main directive is to keep you healthy, happy, safe, and secure. And the best way to do that, especially when we're little, is through that attachment you have with your caregivers, right? Making sure that those basic human needs are met. You're loved, you're cared for, you're nurtured, you're fed, you're soothed, that kind of thing. And so my mind decided that in order to make sure I got that connection, I didn't need things. That what I had wasn't that bad. So when you're that little, your conscious mind hasn't developed. Your whole world is literally what you see, right? That's why kids are so good at being in the moment, being in the now, because their conscious mind hasn't developed. They don't have the brain development that we do as we get older. And because of that, 80% of why you are the way you are, why you think what you think, why you act the way you act, why you do what you do, 80% of that is given to you by the time you're 8 years old. Just think about that for a second. 8 years old, 80% of your program is in there. By the time you're 18, now you're 95% done. It doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room in there. So in order to make changes that last and that stick, you've got to go into that subconscious mind where they're put in there. Hypnosis is not the only way to do it. NLP is not the only way to do it. There's all kinds of other things out there. EMDR. I know there's other ones, but EMDR is the first one that pops into my head. But I found hypnosis, I found NLP, changed my life. It would have made my journey through my addictions so much easier. I wouldn't have had those meltdowns where I was in the kitchen going, this is why you don't start smoking. Look at your mouth. I would, God, what a meltdown. Anyways, guys, short and sweet today, under 10 minutes. Yay. I told you guys I like to talk. So that's a really short little snippet about how hypnosis and NLP works, why it works, and how it changed my life. And I invite you to connect if you're ready to explore why you do some of the things that you do. Drop a comment below, click like, click share, follow along. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. Doesn't, no skin off your back. Have a beautiful, blessed day, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow. Mwah. Love you.